Oh wait, I was muted.
Oh no.
No, that's fine. Thank you, Yi, in the chat. Yeah, that's great. There's always some
Always
moment like that.
something.
Always
I've done
something.
it many
Anyway,
times.
I was saying hello, everyone. Forgot to unmute myself. Um, yes, today we are going to highlight a new feature on Soar, which we've just launched this week called Stoaries. Which we're really proud of, and it's basically a really innovative feature which you won't find on any other online atlas, and we're hoping that this will really define our footprint in the world of maps out there. So we're going to have an extensive look at how stories work today and go into all of it, and hopefully if you have any questions, if you're watching along live, feel free to drop a question in the chat about how it might work, how it all works and stuff, so we can then address your question directly. But yes, I'm Jack. Hello, and this is Harry. And
Hello.
today, I guess we just get into it. We'll just go straight into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I'll just give a quick rundown of what I'm planning, well, what we're planning to do here. Basically, what we're going to do is go over the tools that are available in Source Stories, and then we'll kind of make just a simple story, maybe something that an everyday user might be interested in making. And then after that, we will show a more advanced example of what a story can be. And yeah, that's just a quick overview. So I feel like we should just dig in because there's a lot to go through.
yes.
And I'm excited. I know you are too, Jack.
Yeah,
So,
because this is like I'm a keen storyteller myself personally.
mhm.
So the idea of telling stories in this manner, it really excites me. I mean, I've already made one myself based on the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. There's a boat in that movie that takes a big journey across the Pacific Ocean, and I made a story
That
the
was
other
a
day
really cool one.
about that.
Yeah.
Yes, some people
Yeah.
did like it. In my Discord, I posted it, and some people were really impressed with the functionality. They're like, "This is really cool." But anyway, sorry,
Nice.
I digress.
so, so basically, if you're not familiar with Saw, you just straight on, I'll just jump back here. You just go and enter the atlas, right?
Yep, and a Soar
And then
Soar.earth. You got the link down the bottom of the screen
Sword to
right
Earth,
here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. And the first thing you'll see is this beautiful, nice world map that we're all familiar with. And right at the bottom is this paintbrush. And as you can see, when I hover my cursor over it, it says Open Stories. And that opens up all of these tools along the bottom. And then you have your pages, which we'll get into later, more detailed explanation of the pages. You have your pages on the left-hand side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom us in just to a city. Let's go Brisbane because that's close to me. And I'm just going to change this base layer down here so I don't have labels cluttering the map. And what we're going to do is we're just going to jump into stories and just give a quick overview of all these tools along the bottom of the screen. And once we've done that, then we'll create an actual story, like I said before. So let's start off with the first feature, which is called Sketch. And what this is basically just like a freehand drawing tool. Think of it like a pencil. So you could draw just a squiggly line for some reason if you want to draw that. Or maybe
Should we
you
zoom in a
could.
little bit more? Because I feel I'm worried.
Do you want to zoom in?
Yeah. Let's zoom in on something and actually like draw around
Okay,
stuff.
okay. So what we can do is let's say we want to draw around this. You can just be like,
That's better.
and then I want to take this little river in here, and it's not exact. I'm drawing with a mouse, so it's a little bit clunky
I have
for
tried this with
me.
my stylus. It's
Mhm.
not got functionality with my stylus yet, but
Okay, I tried it with mine and it worked. So I
oh,
wonder
did
if
it? Oh,
maybe there's
it
a
might just be
little.
my stylus.
It might be. It might be a setting. Yeah, maybe we can get some more clarification on that from the team. But this is just a quick little example of what you can do, and
And
maybe
you can move that, right? If you click on it, you can move it.
yeah. So you can click on that, and when you see there's a white line around your drawing, that's when you can drag it around. But of course, I want to keep this one here like that. And you can also change the line color up here. So you have all these preset function colors. Sorry, and so purple's not very good. Maybe like orange. But you can also click down here for a custom color. I want like really, really orange. Look at that, nice orange. What you can also do is you can come over here to line style, and because that line just seems a little thin, so let's just make it a bit thicker.
Beef it up.
Yeah, but you also have options for dotted lines and dashes, and just a good mix of options. You might even want something like that, but I'm just going to keep it as a thicker line just so we can see that. And then arrange, we'll get to that a bit later once we have some more features on this map. And then of course you have a delete button. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, so that's it for the sketch feature for tool. Sorry. We also have a freehand polygon. So let's say I want to go into here and draw another little one. So now you might be thinking, what's the...
Yeah, the difference here is that it's like filling in the middle part, isn't it?
That's exactly what I was about to just about to say. Thank you, Jack.
Sorry.
You read my mind. No, it's all good. So as you see, when I click on fill up here, you can change. So you can change the different types of fill in the middle. Whoops. In the middle of the polygon there. So maybe you want dots, or you want these hexagons. I like hexagons, so let's go hexagons. We'll make this also this custom orange, which, as you'll note, it's saved from my last polygon that I drew. So let's go something like that. And of course, you can change the line thickness as well for the outline, which is pretty cool, like that. And what you can also do, if you're brave enough, you can That's an interesting term. If you want to see the area within that polygon, you can click on this, and we can see it's 16,000 square meters.
It's hard to see on our end, so we need to change the color.
Yeah, let's make that like that.
So the transparency, yeah, you can change the transparency of the pattern in the middle of the polygon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And for this, we'll just do a simple fill and just make nice high transparency. And so now you can see those units better, and of course you can change those between metric and imperial. So if you want it in feet, and you can also change your label color. So that's not great. That's a bit contrasty.
It's so cool how it can like just get the measurements to a size of an area, so you can measure things on the Earth really easily.
Yeah, maybe you want to measure the size of like your neighborhood or something. You can draw around your neighborhood.
I thought you were going to say your neighbor. Like, how much land has my neighbor got compared to me?
I wonder if I have more than them. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a really helpful tool if you want to measure that. I mean, pretty much anything on a map that you want to measure, you can measure it, and you'll see that in the next tools that we go into. So now next on the list is polygon. So this is more just with like a straight line polygon, I guess.
It's the same as the other one, but instead of freehand, you have to click to add dots, and it means you can just make a little bit more of a precise a polygon.
Yeah, exactly. And you can place exactly where you want your corners to be, and you don't have to worry about everything in the middle. And let's just say, just to save time, let's say I want to do something like that. And then to close off your polygon, as you can see it keeps wanting to place another point. So you either just double click on the last point that you placed, or you press escape. And so I just hit escape.
Let's change the color of this one, Harry. Let's get this one a different color.
There we go. What about blue? Do you like blue?
Yeah, orange and blue complement each other. So,
we got a color scientist in the house. And let's just change the fill pattern to these nice lines, just to say maybe this is a different type of wetland in this area or something like that. And I quite like the line thickness, but let's just beef it up one to match the sky. Now here's something interesting. If I zoom out here, before we mentioned, I'll do a better example of this later on, but as you can see, these lines up here are clashing a little bit, and the blue is going over the orange. And so if I want the orange to be the more important part, you can click on the arrange button at the top and go bring to front when you have the orange one selected. And so now that one's on top. I'll do a more obvious example here. Let's just say I want to draw another polygon in here like that. And let's just say that's going to have a completely blue fill. Actually, that doesn't work, does it?
I was going to say it's going to be the same color.
That's going to contradict it. There's no point. And let's say I want that just to be, whoopsie, sorry. Let's say you want that to be underneath, something like that. Maybe there's a habitat of some animal, but you still want the blue lines over it, something like that.
So you basically just put that green block underneath the blue.
Yeah, it's just like a layer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you've ever used like Photoshop or something like that, it's just like moving that layer underneath. Yeah, I think that's everything for the polygon. And then of course, next up we have my favorite, the line tool. And let's say there is an animal habitat here. I want to measure the distance between this animal habitat and the road. So what we can do is, and check this out, Jack, this is one of my favorite things. As I hover the cursor over the corner of the green animal habitat, it comes up with a little dot, and this allows you to place the start of the line on the exact corner of where I'm pointing at. So you don't have to go zoom in and try and find that.
If you move your mouse slightly, that dot will disappear. Yeah. There you go. So when the dot comes up, it's touching the corner. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so I can click there, and okay. Actually, that's a river. So let's just go into here and say, well, that's the closest part. And if you wanted, you can make this line go on for multiple points, but I'm just going to come back here and click on the line just so we have a single line.
And you can join the lines up as well to make like a circle, kind of like the polygon as well.
Yeah, you could go.
But it won't have the fill, will it? It won't have the fill.
No, it won't have the fill. It'll just be the outline around the edge, which sometimes that's what you want. And especially speaking from experience, sometimes I've gone to draw a line and then, let me take a step back. You might think, well, why don't you just use the polygon tool and then get rid of the fill in the middle? But there has been times where I wanted to draw a line, like some sort of a line, but then I go, oh wait, I need to connect to this. And so instead of you going to change tools and getting rid of what you've just done, you can just continue and just close that line, and it works well. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, cool. And again, let's say we want this to be a red line, and I want to make this a nice chunky line. And so what you can do is you can jump in here and show the length.
So you just clicked on measurements there, show length.
Yeah.
And you change the color.
And you can change it. That's if you want it in feet, but I like meters. And so now this green animal habitat we know it's 588 meters away from the road. So they got a good bit of distance. I love the measure tool. I tell you, the amount of times I use that, it's really good. So let's leave it in there like that. I believe I covered everything. Actually, you know what? Let's just come up here to the arrange after clicking on the line tool again. And let's put it so it goes behind here. I think I like that a bit better. Yeah, that's quite nice. Okay, now we have the arrow. Jack, what should I point an arrow to? Help me figure something out.
Just to move an arrow along the line between the animal habitat and the road. So it's just because the arrow tool is probably pretty self-explanatory. You're drawing an arrow.
Oh, whoopsie, that was my mistake.
You're drawing an arrow.
You're just drawing an arrow
to where you want it to go, basically. And it has change color and arrange, and that's it. There's no measurement tool on the arrow.
No measurement tool. No. So if you do want to measure something, you do need to use the let me just
line tool.
Send that to back. Maybe that's a little bit messy. I'm not sure, but you get the idea. You have the arrow.
So just for some perspective here, and this is something what I love about Soar. Not to blow our own trumpet, but like if you just zoom out. If you just keep zooming out, don't exit the stories. If you're zooming out, you're actually drawing on this giant
on this map.
On this map, right. Yeah, like on the
and it'll stay there.
Yeah, and it'll stay there, which is really cool.
As long as you don't close your browser without saving, like you need to make sure you save it. But other than that, yeah, it's going to be there.
And it won't be on Soar for you permanently. You have to go to the story to see it. But it's just cool that you're able to draw on this entire globe.
Yeah. And yeah, you could come over here and say, I want to draw something at the airport. And then you come back and then you want to connect over here and be like, okay, good. It's still in that place. You don't have to worry about things moving. It'll only move if you move it. So that's good. Before, when I've been messing around with mapping programs on my computer, sometimes I would have wrong settings and then things would move and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? And all that kind of stuff. So, all right, next we have the circle tool. Self-explanatory. What can we do? Let's say, let's just go in here, draw a circle. And I'm going to pretend this is another animal habitat in here.
It's an aviary.
Maybe there's like, yeah, exactly. And I want orange again. Yeah, let's stick with the yellow. And we'll just add some transparency to that fill. Just like that. Oopsie. And then, you know what? I'm going to go with a thin outline on this one. So it's mostly just the fill. Oh, and then of course you can also add measurements. So you can show the radius of your circle, which is 85.16 meters in this case. And you can change that to imperial, as always, as well as the label color. But in this case, I like it. I like the black on yellow. It looks good. I'm going to change it back to metric because I understand it.
Yeah.
And then on the next step, we have rectangle. Let's pretend there's another animal habitat, right? And rectangle is just another really self-explanatory one. You can just come in here and just make it any shape you want, which is great. And let's make this
purple.
A blue one. Oh, you want purple? Let's make it purple. Yeah, a bit of diversity in it. And let's give it like a grid fill. It's a bit busy, but I just want to show off some more options that we have. And some line style. Let's make it a dashed line style around the edge. And again, in here, you can come to the measurements and you can go the total area if you want, which is a little hard to see with the fill that I have on. Or you can show the length of the edges, which I think I'm going to stick with, and I'm going to make those white so you can see those easier. And then you can see this so-called animal habitat is about 208 meters by 175 meters. And so that's it for the left panel. And so we have this little creation. Okay, now
that's really awesome. So shall we, for the benefit of time, shall we save this as a page, and then we can do the right tool set in page 2?
I like your thinking. So pages,
because this is where Stoaries really takes it to the next level. So
this is what turns it into a story.
Yes, into a story. So take it away, Harry. How do we make a story?
Cool. Okay. So even though we are technically already in Stoaries, if you want to make it an actual story, what you can do is on the left side up here underneath Stoaries, you see page 1, and that's the project that we're viewing right now. And so let's say we want to edit the details of this page, and we can call this
Animal Sanctuaries. I like you got it in quotation marks. Animal Sanctuaries.
It should be that one, shouldn't it? Animal Habitat tutorial. Okay, and then test. Right, you can add your description here. I'm just going to put test because I don't want to write otherwise, which can be sat here in silence. And of course, you have full Markdown support in here, so you can add headings and bolding and links and bullet points and all that. And yeah, I'm not going to do all of that right now because we'll just be sat here watching me type, and I feel like that's going to bore everyone. Okay, so now you have these options down here. So these are your map view settings. And you have set this page to the current map view. So that means when you view the project after saving it and you send someone the link, or you open the link yourself to view the story and not edit it, it'll show the page view. So the area on your screen, that's what will display on. Jack, can you help me with wording here?
Yeah, so it will lock to the position that you're looking at right now. So if you want one page to be really zoomed out, you click that button when you're zoomed out and it'll lock it there. If you zoom in, same again, you click and it'll lock. And then when you go through the pages, it will actually zoom in and out depending on where you locked the screen. The button underneath locks all screens in the same position. So if you want them all zoomed out or all zoomed in, then you click that one.
That's great. Thank you.
No worries.
For the purpose of that, I'm just going to go set that to that, like that one. And now you have the option under here for map settings. So what this means is if there is a map that either you have uploaded to Soar or someone else has uploaded to Soar, you can come into here and pick that map. So let's say we're in Brisbane. I don't know if there's any maps that cover the specific spot. I probably should have checked. Here we go. So let's say that's a shame. That one just misses it. We'll just go with this one, even though it's probably not exactly what I wanted. Let's just give that a second to load, just to show off what we can do.
Yeah.
Is my internet going to behave? There we go. Okay. So I'm just going to hit save down here just to show you what we've done. So you can see here, there is a map that's been uploaded to Soar, and you can now add that as your base layer on your story, which is pretty cool. So maybe, something I like to do is play around with old imagery. So maybe you want to be highlighting a map from 1950, and there's an old aerial image of that. You can show, hey, this is what the area looked like in 1950, and you can be like, yeah, here's like a duck habitat and a, I don't know, flamingo habitat. There's not flamingos in Brisbane, but for the sake of the example, or anything like that, whatever's relevant to your map.
If you before you delete that, if you just zoom out so we can actually see the extent of the map you added compared to the draw that we did.
There we go.
You can see, so that's a good example. There's the map that we uploaded, and the drawings we did for the stories sit on top of that map.
On top of that map.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this is good for this is really useful for historical maps. If you want to tell a story of, I don't know, for example, D-Day or something, the landings of D-Day, you can actually tell a story over historical maps using the draw tool to explain where they landed and all, where they the movements of the infantry and all that sort of stuff. So or if a geology one, or if a volcano erupted or something and there's damage, you can, this is what the tools offer for anyone out there.
Yeah,
it's free to use.
Yeah.
All you have to do is sign up.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So what I'm going to do, just for the purpose of this, is I'm just going to remove this map, and then we can add one on another layer, on another page. Sorry. And then lastly, second to last, you can also change your base map. If you don't have a map on Soar that you specifically want, so maybe you want an elevation map, or you want a Google Street Map, like this. You can set it to something like that. But I'm an imagery nerd, so I'm just going to leave it to Google Satellite because I like that. And page ordering, this is when you have multiple pages. I'll show this off. We have a few more pages in the story. You can move the order of the pages. So maybe I want this to be the second page, and I'll make a first page that is a title page or something like that. Yeah. So I think with that, we can create our next page and officially turn this into a story.
So it's up on the top left-hand side. You click Add Page.
Top left. Yep. And then we now have page 2. And so you'll notice that the previous drawing did disappear. And hypothetically, let's say you can click back on your first page that we saved. And let's say you want to keep this here. What you can do is you can, instead of going Add Page, you can go Copy Page. And so now we have a copy. And so I have this page 2 that I created using the add page. But now we have the copy page, and you can see it says animal habitat tutorial copy. So if you want to keep those drawings in it and add something additional, let's just say I want to draw something else over here, like that. Pretend
they added a new habitat 5 years later, a whole new.
Yeah, exactly. A whole flock of flamingos have moved in into Australia. What I will just quickly do I'll just get rid of this empty page. And so now you can see, there you go, look at that. So there's our original page, and then you have the new page up here with the new habitat.
And did you see how it was locked to a different position? Because that's, yeah.
I just had a moment thinking, why is it moving? And I was like, oh yeah, I locked it.
We locked it,
yeah. Yeah, so that's a good example. And then you would rename that. You could be like, maybe like future, something like that. That'd be like future, something like that.
We got a message in chat from Yuri who says, I've got to go. Wishing you guys a great success for the project. Consider mapping political sensitive maps to gravitate attention. Winky, kiss face, cheers. Well, thank you, Yuri.
Wow, thanks, Yuri.
We'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. It's always good to have suggestions of what we can do.
Yeah, we like to stay as neutral as possible on it, but we do have a lot of like conflict maps and stuff, current conflict maps, which can be very interesting concerning.
Conflict is not my area of expertise, but maybe we can bring on someone who can give an example of what they can do. Because I just don't want to put false information. But.
Yeah, as we progress in the future with these live streams and these become more current, we're definitely going to be bringing on more people who have different expertise. But yes, thank you for the comment, Yuri.
Yeah, it's much appreciated. Thank you for watching as well. This is only our second stream, so we are very appreciative of that. All right, should we jump onto the third page?
Yes.
I think it could be fun. All right, so we have the original one and we have the future one with this added area up here. So I'm going to start a blank page. And what I might do is...
So let's say they added a sort of oceanic reserve just off the coast.
Okay. So let's say out here, right?
Yes, yeah.
This is not the best help or whatever editor. And I'm just going to jump in and I'm just going to draw a quick polygon just for the sake of adding a polygon. Just so we have something in here. And if it's going to be marine, let's make it nice. Oh, that is a bright blue. And we'll just make it light. It's like that. And I keep double clicking.
So as you can see, you can click on the yellow dots on your polygon and adjust. Mm-hmm.
How good is that? Because yes, I know, speaking from experience, I always draw my polygons and I'm like, I wish I could adjust this. And luckily Soar makes it easy. And of course we can drag that around if we're like, oh, that's a bit too shallow. Let's move it out here.
See, the thing I found with the Soar draw functions and the story functions is that it's kind of like an old school video game in a sense that, like, when you play like the original Mario, Super Mario on like Nintendo or whatever, the game is so I don't know, concrete in how it's built. If you make a mistake as Mario, it's your mistake. Like, the game's not glitched or anything. It's like it's your fault that you fell down that hole. So it's like on in terms of mistakes on stories, it's like it's very rare, I think, that you'll find that there's a problem with it. It's like if you make a mistake on your story, you can edit it no matter where the mistake is. Like, if you have a mistake on a page, like we said, you can copy another page and you can readjust it. Like, there's always every level you can re-edit it at every level is what I'm trying to suggest. So I don't want to see any mistakes on any stories, people. That's what I'm trying to say, because you can make mistakes. It's your fault. It's your fault.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we covered all the tools in the left-hand toolbar down here. So let's jump over to what we got left. What we have on the right, sorry. I know my left and right. So let's start with text tool. I think that's a pretty obvious tool. And what you can see is you have a little box, and that just shows where your starter text box is going to be. So I want to place that guy like there, right in the middle. And what we're going to call this like a marine reserve. I can type. And I'm going to keep it white text, but I'm going to maybe, if you want, you can change the fill color on that, make it nice blue. And we have a few font options at the moment. I'll keep Manrope because that's Soar's font, and we don't need to arrange backs and fronts layers or anything like that. So now we have a nice little title over. This was going to be a future marine reserve, wasn't it?
Yes, they're planning
continuity.
This is our story.
Yes, this is our plan for.
Before we move on to the next tool set and the text tool set, because obviously you can write. It's not just titles. You can write a lot in there, can't you? I don't know if there's a limit on how much you can write, but you can write entire essays, as far as I'm aware.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to copy and paste that, and you can be like, I should zoom out. So as you see, I just hit copy and paste on a bunch, and let's say that was important text that you wanted, and you're like, oh, I don't want it all the way out there. What you can do is you can drag that down here, and sorry, that's my fault because I did not put line breaks in there by hitting enter. So you do need to hit enter to add line breaks. That was my mistake. And so as you see, sorry, what was that?
I was going to say, now you can make it bigger and it should
exactly
be fine.
Yeah, so as it fits the size of the text. So if I did want it to be more lines, I would have to come down here like that. And let's just pretend that says something important. I'll get rid of this in a moment, but just for the sake of showing that off. And as you drag the box, it just adjusts the size of the text.
But because it's on this this globe, you can actually zoom in and the text will get bigger. So if you literally just zoom in, there you go. You can read it.
Oh, now I can read it.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get rid of that just because I'm going to try to make something. Whoopsie! I keep hitting too many buttons at once. Okay, we're good.
So we can right click in the text box as well, right? There's so many things you can.
Yes, and you can. Oh, you can't see my.
Yeah, we're not going to be able to see it on our end. Because of the live stream.
But yeah, you can copy and paste and check spelling and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. You just have to use your imagination. There is another box. If you right click in the text box, another box opens up. But because of the live streaming technology, it blocks you viewing it.
Yeah, so I don't accidentally share my desktop or anything.
Yeah.
So next after text, we have markers. And so I click on that. And you can place a marker. So let's just say I want to place one here on the edge. Now you can not only adjust the color. Let's pick this orange that we made earlier, but you can choose the type of marker. And
let's resize it just quickly. So before we change the.
Oh yes.
So you have to click resize at the top.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, and then you have to, because you can't grab it and stretch it. This one you have to actually go up to the top and change the.
I had that moment. My instinct was to go and drag it. So
yeah,
I'm glad you brought that up.
I remember when I was making my story, I made a mental note of that because I was like, "That's different."
Yeah. So now you can actually see it, and let me select that again, and you can go show more, and now you have all these options, which is great. And I'm gonna pick. What do I want to pick? I'm gonna pick the boat. Let's pretend when you want to go to this marine reserve, this is where the boat shows up to the marine reserve.
The dock.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Let's add another text box and write dock.
Okay. Let's do that, and we can color code this as well. Make it orange, and I want it to be black text, and we'll just go like dock. Like that, and I want to make it. I don't want to make it too invasive.
There you go.
Something
That's
like
perfect.
That. Or should I put it there? No, we'll put it
above. Yeah. There we go.
Just censor that. Cool. Yeah. So just to go over that again, Let's resize that.
So now, yeah. So if you
So
click on it
do it.
again, then it keeps the boat. But you can actually
Yes.
change this one to a different one. It doesn't change all of them.
Right. Let's say what else we got? The sharks. There we go.
Perfect.
So we got a shark fin, and because sharks is scary, well, they could be if you're in the wrong situation. Let's make it red, right? So just be aware.
Dun, dun.
let's mesh that. Beware and enter sharks. There we go. You got to have a little bit of fun with it, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
you
cool.
can put those two inside the box, and then that's what they've got there at the reserve. Sharks. This is like Deep Blue Sea. Samuel L. Jackson. You know.
I haven't seen that movie in years.
Yeah, it's good fun. Really good fun.
Okay, so
is it Oceana they call? No, Aquatica. That's what the place is called in Deep Blue Sea. This is
I'm gonna have to rewatch that again. I'm giving myself homework. I'm gonna have to rewatch that.
That's good.
All right, so now we have military symbols, and I'll be honest, I'm not super familiar with military symbols. But if you are a user who wants to use military symbols for any reason, let's pop it on the right side here. You can just place that down. And so you have your affiliations, they're friend, neutral, or hostile. Let's say it's neutral for this. Then you have a unit. So
naval? Do they have naval?
It's good infantry because I don't see a naval. We got army. Well, I'm not familiar with military stuff. Please forgive me. Let's just say it's a squad. What's in here? And then that's right. See, this is where you have more in depth. Here we go. Utility vehicles, water. Oh, not quite. There you go. Let's put a truck there. See, and you have a little truck.
You can resize
it.
Yeah. Just for the sake of our fictional story here, let's just add another pin next to that of like some mountains or something, like a little island. Like there's or some building. So it's like part of
it's default to a shark again.
And you want some like buildings or something.
What have we got? We just have like a like this.
Yeah, just something so it's like there's some sort of base of operations.
You know what we can do? We're gonna draw a little polygon right here, and we're gonna just pretend there's a little artificial island.
So we're gonna arrange. We should arrange that to go behind.
Absolutely.
Those two symbols.
There we go. Like a brown for the land. That's a bit of an ugly brown, but here we go. Extreme example, right? Oh no, my polygon has covered my symbols. So you come up here to arrange, and you go send back. Boom. Look at that. And you can just jump in here. And what do we call this? This is like an artificial island. Let's call that. No, I'll just call it an island. Island base. There you go. How's that?
I should have said Aquatica.
I'm not going to try to spell that right now. Okay, cool. So we have an island base that we've covered military symbols. And next up, we have coordinate. What should we put coordinates to? Let's just put it up in the corner up here. Okay. And so you just drop that. And you can change your coordinate systems. And I'm just going to stick with WGS84 decimal degrees, but you can choose from all of these different options if you want military and all that, minutes and degrees and seconds, all that fun stuff. And you know what? Just for the sake of it, I'm going to put one on each corner. I don't know if that's just going to clutter it.
So when you move those coordinates around, when you're adding one, they actually change inside. You can see the coordinates changing inside those. Yeah.
Or even after you placed it, like you can see I'm doing right now, I'm just dragging it around.
Yeah, and it's like
and live update for that bottom right hand corner of the coordinate box. And then last but definitely not least.
Oh, you know what?
I know what you're doing. I know exactly what you're doing. I know you, Jack. So now you can add a photo or an image.
I'm sending you a photo.
Not only do we need, not only can you add images, but you can also add GIFs, as it says here. It even supports animated GIFs, and soon sound and video. So, like, this is very exciting stuff. And once I get Jack's message,
it's going to be a really small image, but
okay, that's fine. We can scale it up. That's another good function we can show off.
Right, so I'm just sending you an image.
Yep. Oh, that brings back memories. Let's just save that into there. Okay, cool. And hopefully you cannot see my files. And there you go.
I'm sending I'm sending you a GIF as well.
Yes, please.
Because LL Cool J did a song for Deep Blue Sea for the end credits, where he
What year was that movie?
1999. Where the lyrics are like, deepest, bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. And so I'm sending you a GIF of LL Cool J singing that, just for some fun.
Underwater too. Yeah. All right, so we have an image in, and I just saved the GIF. And where are we? Oh no, where did it go? Or in my
the GIF I've sent has low frame rate, so it's going to look glitchy, but it's not the it's not Soar, it's just the low frame rate of the GIF itself.
GIF. Oh, I don't think, for some reason what you sent me, I don't think I could save it as a GIF.
Oh really?
It's saving as an MP4. I'll have to grab it myself. 1 second.
Oh, that's strange.
I think. Let's see. Just because we really want to show off the.
I just wrote in Deep Blue Sea and went in GIFs and saw him singing underwater.
I think I got it.
So silly.
Here, we like silly. You got to have a bit of fun. All right. Here we go.
As long as people are understanding who are watching this,
yes,
that we're showing off the function. Oh, that's great. There you go.
So if you want to talk about, hey, we have this base out in the ocean, and we're gonna have a guy singing underwater, but we just want to show off, like, yes, there is functionality. You can add GIFs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you have a GIF of maybe like a time lapse or something, and you want to show off how this environment has changed, or I don't know, maybe you have a video that's taken from a plane circling the area, and you can turn it into a GIF, and then you can import it into here. But as I mentioned before, we are adding the ability to add video, which is super exciting. I can't wait for that, and I have a lot of use cases for that. Yeah.
So that'd be really interesting, because we could add on Soar's end of things. Maybe we can make a story about how to make stories, and this live stream is on the map. So you click on it, and it's like, if you want the left-hand tool set, here is the clip, the left-hand tool set. Go to page 2, you'll learn about the right-hand tool set.
That's how
meta this
really
could go.
Good idea.
Yeah.
we can go layers on this. I like this.
But anyway, right.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to future. What do I call it? Brain reserve. I call it sharks. And sharks will live here.
So with the description, the page description, obviously that comes up. We'll see that when we go through the story, but that comes up on the left-hand side, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah.
That can be quite
I'll
long
show
and
that
extensive with hyperlinks and everything, as you can see there.
with hyperlinks and bullet lists. So you can go into here and you can be like, shark 1, and then you can add another one in here if you want. Go shark 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also do points. So you can one be like safe for sharks. Then, yeah. Oh, whoops. What did I must have done something wrong here. Yeah, you can the number one rule here is it's safe for sharks, right? And I'm not going to lock these on this one. I'm just going to let it be. And so that means, wait, no, I do need to.
No, I'd say lock. Yeah, lock to the position.
Yes. And I'm not going to add a map, and I'm going to keep it to just satellite view. And so we have that, right? Mm-hmm. I think that's everything with that. And so then we can go save. And so now we save our project, and we're going to call this Brisbane Marine Habitats or something like that. Tutorial, just in case I wonder what on earth this is later.
Yeah, you're looking at LL Cool J like, what the heck was this about?
Yeah, I'm like, what? And so now I can come up to, you can either view the story that open in another tab, I believe, off the top of my head, or you can copy the story link if you want to send it to people. And I'm just going to go view the story, and
it should open up.
If I've done this right. Okay, you can see. So you have the title of your story up here on the left, and it's by me a few seconds ago. And now, so this is your page title and your description, which here, I know it's not the best example, but just showing that it's yeah. And so now you're in here and you can be like, oh, look at this. This is a purple habitat, and this is a circular, and you've got the measurements and everything like that.
Now this is the real trick, isn't it? This is the real thing, is the pages down the bottom.
Oh, before we move to that, I should note, if you are the person who created this, you can come over here to the pencil and edit your story. So it's nice and easy to jump back in and edit if you realize you've made a mistake. And you also have a share button here, which of course copies the link directly to your clipboard, which is awesome. And you can go and share that with your friends or whoever your audience is. And then, as you're saying, down at the bottom is where the real goodies hit. And if I've done this correctly, I hit this button and we go to the next page. And I know I didn't frame my map completely correctly because it's cutting off a little bit. But you can see, as I go back and forth on the left side, you'll see the title changes and the description changes. And we also have that new polygon come in. But as we go to the third page, look at that. So now you have our shark habitat over here and our LL Cool J GIF.
And if you go back, it'll go back to the previous one.
Yeah, to go back. Exactly. And if you want to go in and add more pages, of course, all you need to do is click on your pencil and boom, you're back in. And and you can just be like, boom, page 4, and whatever that happens to be. So I think we might leave it there because we've been going for about an hour now. So
53 minutes. So
yeah, and we probably don't want to be going too much longer, otherwise we're all going to be
Well,
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I think that covers pretty much everything to do with how to create a story on the basic level. Obviously, as we go forward into the future, we'll do more live streams and we'll show more in-depth ones. But just to end this stream off, let's can we take a look at one of our team members made to do with
let me just quickly
I'm not sure how you can
that. I can do that, don't worry. So we got one here by our good friend Sergio, and we have his geology story that he made.
Shows the extent of what you can do with stories. So not to scare everyone, but this is this is
very technical.
And as you can see down the bottom, he's got one of 10 pages.
Yeah. And our team has made so many amazing stories with this feature so far. And I feel like we've just given you the very, very simple story, a very playful story to begin with. And this is kind of like the other end of the spectrum where it's like, okay, this is really technical in the best way possible. For all of my fellow nerds out there, right? And so you can see he's got amazing description over here on this page with links to Wikipedia and NASA. He also has his a map from Soar, this geology map, as you can see, for all the continents. And if you wanted to, you can adjust that transparency, which is another cool feature. So just in case maybe you're not
on the page, which is really cool.
While viewing the story. Mm-hmm. So maybe you're not familiar with all the countries of Africa while you're looking at this map. And you're like, oh, what
you can zoom in,
country is
that?
Right,
you can zoom into
yeah.
Africa, yeah.
You can zoom in as well, and then you can go transparency and be like, oh, okay, that's Chad, or something like that. And as you can see, he's got all these pictures here, a nice GIF. You can zoom in and have a closer read of all these technical details. And if I go to the second page, we have many more details here. And there's all these links on the left side, which is just great resources. So maybe you're not familiar with geology and you want to read more. You can come over here and read some external sources. More details over here of how the Earth was formed.
Like, you're going way back.
Way before my time. Yeah.
It was about when this stream started. That's at the same time. That's the stream forming and that GIF right in the middle.
Yeah, right there.
But I'm muted.
That's you booting up your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plate tectonics. Again, these are some great examples of GIFs. Here's another geological gravity map. I'm not super familiar with understanding these, but if you are, And what I should also mention is if you want to view this map, you can come over here and click on this this link on the map, and it will, in fact, open just that map on Soar, that's a cool feature.
If you zoom in a bit, does that fill in that one little gap?
Yeah, I think that's just my internet having a moment.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. It's filled in now.
There it goes. Yeah, it's filled in. And you can be like, what on earth is this? And it's like, oh, okay. Using my favorite feature, transparency tool. It's just the best. Yeah, and I'm trying to jump back to the other tab now. Oops. All right. And let's just continue on with this. It's page 5.
This is my favorite one where it shows Pangea splitting up, and I think it's Pangea, isn't it? That's what it's called.
I'm honestly not sure.
That's what they called the
Yeah.
And that's like a massive GIF that is like filled the entire screen.
The entire Earth. Yeah. There's a base map loading in the background. Excuse my internet being a bit slow again. And then going into Australia, so this is a great example of moving where your map is looking at. And the Jack Hills mine. Is that your mine, Jack? Is there something you need to tell me? Once again, you can change your map transparency. And
now we're zooming
what
right
have we got in here? Yeah. Some more technical details of these samples. And a nice picture of Jack's mine, apparently. We're going to have a discussion about this after the stream, Jack.
That's what happened when I booted up my old computer. It left that creator.
Poof.
Crater right in the ground.
And then coming up to the next one, moving up to Canada, it looks like. Here's another great map. And this looks like... Okay, so this is another map from Soar, which, again, you can click on this text to view that within Soar. There's a link to Wikipedia. And he's got... this is where the 4 billion-year-old rock sample...
And if you keep zooming in, there's like images. I feel like you could just keep zooming in, and it's like... I've got maps on top of maps.
Now and then you can go to satellite view and see, that's exactly where it came from. Which is so cool. Hats off to Sergio for this. Oh, it takes us in. Whoops, I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's what I say. It goes even further in.
Look at that. That is so cool. And then last but not least, the newest rocks.
And we go all the way. Where is this?
This is up in Lake Iceland.
Ah.
Start of eruption 1963. I love volcanoes. There we go. So there's that tile. You can see the volcano there. And then there's a picture of it when it was erupting, which is quite cool. But yeah, that's an example of, some of the details you can go into stories. And I'm sure there are people, if they want to, they can go into even more detail. There's no limits, limitless. You can do 1,000.
It's just your imagination. Whatever story you want to tell on the globe using this stories function, it's yours to grab. You just have to think of it and have fun with it. And hopefully this tutorial video has helped you work out the functionality behind how it all works. So yeah. Anything else?
We'll be doing more in the future as well.
Yes,
with different subjects, maybe a little more serious, but we just wanted to make this initial introduction quite relaxed and just easy to grasp and understand. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Well, anyway, thank you, Harry, for taking us through the journey of stories. And
pleasure. Thanks for keeping me company.
No worries. And yes, anyone who's still watching at this point, thank you for sticking with us. And make sure you follow us at Soar_Earth on X, Twitter, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and all that jazz to keep up with future live streams. And go create stories. That's we want to see everyone's stories out there.
Stories.
Go and have some fun, people, because there's no other website on the internet that gives you this sort of functionality. So it's a world first.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Harry, and we'll see you later, everyone. Bye bye.
Perfect. Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everyone.